Hello, Fabulous Fives. We are here for a quick review of angles from grade 4. I'm sure this is going to be really just review for all of you, but I do want to remind you of the names of the different kind of angles that are out there. So as you might remember, and I know that we've actually talked about this in class this year, there are 3 types of angles that we're going to classify in grade 5. We have this angle right here that we find on the corner of a square. And I bet you're shouting at the screen right now, the name of that angle is a right angle. You've got it. This is called a right angle. You know why it's called a right angle? It's called a right angle because it is 90 degrees. Now, that might sound kind of funny. 90 degrees. What on earth is 90 degrees? Well, we need to get a little more specific when we talk about what 90 degrees means. Whenever we talk about what is an angle is the distance between one line segment and another. So what is a line segment? Well, any line that joins another line, any line that does not continue on forever, is a line segment. So right here we have a line segment. And here we have another line segment. Now, where those two line segments meet, we have what we call a vertice. This is called the vertice. And the vertice is that corner right in there. That's the vertice. Now, the angle that we measure is the distance from one line to the other. And we don't measure it in centimeters because, as you can see, it gets wider and wider and wider. We're going to look at the distance the whole line is in degrees. And we talk about degrees in the terms of a circle. So if I was to place a circle right on this vertice where the center of the circle was right here, and we know that a circle has 360 degrees, I would find out that the distance from this line to this line was 90 degrees. And you may have seen a tool that we use to measure angles, and that's called a protractor. Here we have a protractor. It's half a circle, and I actually just kind of put it right on there, get it lined right up with mine. This one doesn't work great. I will show you how to use it with an actual protractor on a different app. But it would actually show me that my line is a quarter of a circle, or from 0 to 90 degrees. And that's how I know that that's a right angle. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So we know a right angle is any angle that is 90 degrees. And you know where I label an angle when I'm going to label an angle? I label it in the vertices. I put a little circle, or actually in the case of a right angle, it usually looks like this. And right in there, that when I see a little square like that, that tells me it's 90 degrees. And the way I write 90 degrees is the number and a little circle up in the air just like that. Okay, so now we know that I have a right angle right there. Well, let's go over here. This angle has my line segment, and my vertices. And now this little section right here is my angle. Now, is that angle bigger or smaller than a right angle? That little section, the distance in between of my angle, is smaller than a right angle. So when I have an angle that is smaller than a right angle, do you know what it's called? It's called a acute angle. So when I have an angle that's less than 90 degrees, I know it's acute. And I would use my protractor to measure that angle, and I would find it was less than 90 degrees, and I would write how many degrees in there. Well, let's go over to this angle. Line segment, vertice. Well, what do I call an angle? Let's look at this angle. Is it bigger, smaller, or the same as my right angle? Well, I think we can see it's actually just hold on. It's actually bigger than my right angle. So this distance is actually bigger than my right angle. Do you know what we call an angle that is greater than a right angle or greater than 90 degrees? We call that an obtuse angle. And an obtuse angle is any angle greater than 90 degrees. So even if it was 91 degrees, it would still be obtuse. So in grade 5, your learning goal is to make sure you know the names of those angles. You have to be able to measure angles that are less than 90 degrees, and we'll get into doing that throughout the week and later on. And also being able to identify those different kinds of angles in a triangle and to name triangles after those types of angles. So we'll put our learning goal up in our classroom, but that's what we're aiming for. Right angles equal 90 degrees, just like the corner of a square or a rectangle. This rectangle has 4 90-degree angles or right angles. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees, and an obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees. So remember all that, and I'm going to have you do a few practice activities just identifying types of angles before I get you into looking at them in triangles.